YouTube? It's your boy Polo Evolve. I'm back with another video, and today I just want to do a little trading update. I have officially secured 4 TopStep 50K XFAs, and a little bit of a backstory. Let me just run you guys real quick if you guys are new viewers. I've been trading for about 5 years. Started with Forex, just recently got into futures. Got my first ever prop firm payout back in 2024 with Funding Pips. That's a Forex prop firm, and it was about for $5,000. And then after that, I was never able to get another payout for quite some time, up until December 2025. That's when I got 2 payouts with TopStep, and one was for 1,000, and then the other one was for 2,000. And I thought, I'm on the up and up now. Nothing can stop me. But unfortunately, last week I basically crashed out and essentially lost my funded while I was up. Arguably one of my best days, man. I was up like 1,700 for the day, and I kept over trading and ended up blowing that account at a 2K buffer. In total, I had like 3,500, 3,700 in the account, and all I had to do was get off the charts, and I could have secured another payout later that week, but ended up blowing that account. After that, kind of went into a little bit of a psychological downturn, and essentially here I am now. After blowing a bunch of evals and basically giving a lot of the profits back to TopStep, I've secured 4 XFAs. Here, I'm going to show you guys real quick. So as you see 1,500, you see the balance 5,300, and then there's all of these are follower accounts, and they are essentially passed. So that's great. And basically, I wanted to update you guys on me passing all these TopStep accounts. And it is a bit of a jump because I'm going from managing one account to now I'm managing about 4 accounts, right? So it is one of those things where it is probably going to affect me psychologically because I've never been at this stage before. But what I've noticed is a lot of the traders that are able to extract a lot of money from prop firms is they don't try to maximize growth on one account, but what instead they'll do is they'll scale up on having a bunch of accounts with a bunch of different firms, and then they'll be able to just go for small consistent payouts. And essentially that's what I should have done earlier after I got my second payout with TopStep, because again, you see me like I'm making 1,700, but that's on one account. Imagine if I had 4 or 5 accounts like I do now. I would be able to just aim for $200, but $200 on 5 accounts is $1,000 a day, right? So that's how quickly you can scale up. And if you have multiple accounts on multiple firms, then of course, like that's where it really starts to get fun, right? And so anyway, I took a little bit of a hit, and 2 things that really affected my psychology, I would say, was the fact that I'm starting to post everything online, right? That does add a little bit of degree, it adds a little degree of difficulty to my trading. The fact that I'm showing everyone my trading journey, whereas before, I can kind of like when it's just between you and yourself, which again, trading is a you versus you game. But when you start to post everything online, it adds a degree of difficulty to it, and I think that had a lot to do with my psychology last week. Just because I was starting to get a little bit of success, people were reaching out to me, messaging me about how to get into trading and stuff like that. I got high off the highs essentially, and with trading, you never want to get too high off the highs. You never want to get too low off the lows. You want to remain at equilibrium as much as possible. Again, it is a you versus you game. With that being said, so posting on social media added a degree of difficulty. The second thing here is that I had some issues going on with my personal life. I'm just gonna leave it at that. But if you guys know anything about trading, is that when you actually have things to worry about in your personal life, trading is a reflection of yourself, your habits. What are you doing on a day-to-day basis? If you have problems in your personal life, they most certainly will show up on the charts because, again, the market's going to move in whatever way it wants to move, but you are the one that's going to execute your trades for yourself. So if you're not in the right state of mind, that is inevitably going to show up in your results. And that's essentially what happened. I should have dealt with what I had to deal with last week before getting back onto the charts. But because I was on a win streak, I felt like I was on top of the world, and I felt like I could do anything and everything. And eventually I crashed and burned. But nonetheless, we are back in action, and that's all that matters, guys. Listen, you are going to face so many setbacks in your journey, especially if you're trying to do something great, you're trying to do something different, you're trying to separate yourself from the pack. You are going to face setbacks, you're going to face challenges. It is about how many times you can get back up. I cannot stress this enough because every champion in any, like for example, let's use Michael Jordan. You think Michael Jordan didn't face challenges? If he gave up when he got cut from his high school team, then he would have never reached the peak in which he had reached. So if you are going through some sort of challenge in your journey right now, just understand it's all part of the process. And really, it's not really a setback. It's really just an opportunity for you to prove to yourself over and over again that you are really built for this. You really are built for greatness. And for those of you in which it actually resonates, those are the people that I really want to, kind of hammer this into their head. Because guys, the second you guys give up, that's the second you lose. You don't lose when you take a loss. You only lose when you give up. I want you guys to understand that. And that's even now that ties back to me, man. Like, I got my payouts and then I ended up blowing my funded and I blew a lot of my the profits that I had made initially. You think if I gave up, you think if I gave up, then this wouldn't have happened. I wouldn't have been able to get funded this week, right? And